Okay, well, do we have a quorum?
Yes, I counted 5 at least. Commissioner Hughes is not feeling well today.
Okay. Then we'll call the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners to order, and I'm not sure who's taking. Kristen, would you call the roll, or Kathy, whoever's on duty?
Kathy.
It's Clerk Waters today.
Okay.
Oh. Nancy or Linda, are you taking the roll? Linda, you're muted.
Do we have an invocation? That's number 2.
It says the host is not allowing participant to unmute themselves.
We hear you.
Oh, yes, I skipped right over that. I'm sorry. Commissioner Rilestein Wilkins, would you please do the invocation?
Yes, thank you, Bob. Let us pray. Dear God, we come to you today in a spirit of thanksgiving. We thank you, dear Lord, for allowing us to meet in person and electronically and taking care of the citizens of this county. In spite of the inclement weather, the pandemic that has coveted this country, we march ahead, fulfilling the responsibilities of this county. We thank you for the leadership that is displayed in this county from the elected officials, staff, and our administrator. We ask, dear Lord, that you guide us in doing the work for all citizens that look to us. With your guidance, we will continue to do your work and your will in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rilestein. Commissioner Sear, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance.
Oh, and if you could mute your microphones temporarily.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
It's of
America
America.
and to the
and to the
republic
republic.
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Sear. Okay, now we're ready for the roll call. Linda, are you doing the roll call?
No, Clerk Waters is
Oh, okay. Thank you,
for
Nancy.
full board meetings. The county clerk is always here, or her deputy. Commissioner Brown,
Here,
and location, please.
Laketon Township.
Thank you. Commissioner Sear,
Here, Twin Lake, Michigan.
thank you. Commissioner Hovey Wright.
You're
Commissioner
muted.
Hovey Wright,
You're muted, Marcia.
Yeah, City of Muskegon, here.
thank you. Commissioner Hughes,
Excused.
thank you. Commissioner Laring,
Here, Cloverville, Sullivan Township, almost.
thank you. Vice Chair Nash,
Here, City of Muskegon.
thank you. Commissioner Pago,
Here, City of Norton Shores.
thank you. Chairman Skolnick,
Here, City of Norton Shores. Thank you,
Thank
Clerk
you.
Waters.
and Commissioner Wilkins,
Here, City of Muskegon Heights.
thank you. You have 8 present, 1 excused.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next item is the approval of the agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second, Hovey Wright.
Okay, we have a motion. It's been supported. Are there any comments or questions on that? If not, we'll vote. Roll call, please, Nancy.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright. Here. Oh, yeah. Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
8 yes.
Okay, thank you. The agenda is approved. The next item, we have a presentation by our local media star and public health director, Kathy Moore. Kathy, are you there? Well, maybe not. Oh, yep, there she goes. Can't hear you, Kathy. I don't see her. Is she muted? Is she there?
I don't think she's on the meeting yet.
We could come back to this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then the next item, we'll come back to that. The next item on the regular agenda is the approval of the regular and closed session minutes of January 26, 2021.
So moved. Hovey Wright.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion that's been supported. Are there any errors, comments, or questions on the minutes of January 26th? If not, we'll vote. Clerk Waters, if you could call the
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
yes.
8 yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next item, we have time set aside for public comment on an agenda item. If anybody would like from the public, there are now 46 people on this meeting. If anybody would like to make a comment on an agenda item, you have time now. There's a button to raise your hand. Mr. Cross,
Yes.
Chris Cross.
Thank you, sir. Just want to be very brief. Learning this process, and we run the Living Word Senior Snow Removal Service. And we're right now with the budget that the commission has awarded us, we're able to help over 100 seniors that are low income. Many are disabled with their snow removal anytime there's a snow event. And right now, with the constraints of the budget that the commissioners gave us, we are having to turn away almost 30 seniors at this moment, putting on a waiting list to stay within the constraints the commissioner's given us. So just figuring out ways to reach these seniors. We spoke with Ms. Kathy Moore, and she told us to come before you and start a process. And so we're requesting an emergency motion to receive funding for these 30 seniors that are asking for the service. I did send a motion to Ms. Thorpe today to get it, so it's in front of everybody with the details. I'm here for any questions that may need to be asked to answer them. Thank you for considering it.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. I think this is, Commissioner Sear is on that Senior Activities Committee, and we're going to discuss this in a little while. So thank you for bringing it forward. All right, the next item is communications. There were 3 items from 3 other counties. If I could have a motion to just accept these and put them on file.
So moved.
So, second.
All right, we have
Support.
a motion. We have a motion. What, I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Okay,
comment.
go ahead. Yes, Marcia.
I think the first one in Antrim County is telling everybody to, support local business, order out, take out, etc., is very appropriate. The other 2, I would like to speak or would like to be recorded as being totally opposed.
Okay. All right. So we're not approving these. We're just
I know,
taking them,
I just
putting them on
wanted to be
file.
there, and I wanted to, make a point of encouraging people to frequent our restaurants, and they are open now in a limited capacity.
Thank you, Commissioner Hovey Wright. All right, we have a motion to just put these on file, and
Moved.
it's been moved, I think, and supported, I believe. Has it not, Clerk
Yes.
Waters?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, if we could have a roll call vote on this too.
Commissioner Laring. Commissioner Laring, thank you.
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
yes,
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
yes,
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
8 yes.
Okay, thank you. Before we move on to committee board reports, the Health Department Director is here. Kathy, you're on the call. Would you like to
Yeah,
bring
yes,
us up to date? Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Chair. My apologies. I had some sign-on issues.
uh-oh,
I'm going to go through these briefly. Again, we are gradually trending downward, and our number of recoveries are really looking good. So glad for that. Next, our positivity rate is aligning. We're looking for below 5%. We're looking for a 14-day average of below 5% positivity rate. We have accomplished that. This would be the next slide, please. We accomplished that sporadically, and we are approaching the below 5%. As of today, we were at 5.3, 5.2. So it takes a while for all the test results to get into the state database. Next. Hospital capacity, again, is very good. They have it managed and under control. Again, we're so blessed to have Mercy Health in Muskegon County. Next. The number of deaths continue. We still see those numbers not as high as November or December, but January final numbers was still higher than October. And just absolutely breaks my heart if I see a death and that person was on our waiting list for a COVID vaccination. Next. This is for Commissioner Pago, who asked me to explore other causes of deaths, and we're still gathering that information. So this is just for comparison purposes from January to June of 19 and January to June of 20. We do know that the last part of 2020 is going to be substantially different, but this is just to start. So Commissioner Pago, these are the medical examiner cases, and in calendar year 2019, 67 deaths due to accident in the first part of the year. 2020, 71 deaths. Homicide, 9 compared to 5. Natural deaths, 213 compared to 295. And this is where you would see the COVID deaths. Suicide, 10 compared to 15 just for the first half of the year. And indeterminate, meaning the cause of death has not yet or cannot be identified. 7 just for the first 6 months, and 4 for the first 6 months of 2020. Of the unnatural deaths, or the common unnatural deaths, 7 traffic related compared to 19 traffic related, and it could have something to do with the inclement weather for the beginning of the year as well. 3 drowning, which is the same. 20 individuals fell and resulted in deaths. 35 drug related just for the first 6 months compared to 20. And then the number opioid and non-opioid and the combination, all of those are included in the 35. So that's just a really brief synopsis, and definitely more to come as we gather that information. The prison systems, the COVID outbreak in that system is definitely under control, and 12 active cases and no new cases to date. Next. This is actually just to help everyone understand where we are in the vaccination phase. So when they said we can vaccinate age 65 to 74 years, oh, that's a different one. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're in phase 1B, group A and B only, not group C. Group C is a different group of essential workers. Let's go to the next one. Next slide, please. This is again the state preliminary vaccination timeline. Maybe can help. If you notice, looking at the grouping, the last group in phase 1B, we are not
do a roll call and all
essential
that on
frontline
the
workers.
resolutions. Because I'll tell you about it.
We are, that group is intended to be vaccinating beginning May. And then the state of Michigan did announce that we can vaccinate in group 1C, which is just the first group of group 1C, and that's age 65 to 74. So much of the confusion is a lot of the essential frontline workers in group 1B, they felt like, you know, if we're doing group 1C, then we've skipped over them. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, depending on where you fall, that is true. The state of Michigan has said, please prioritize age 65 to 74 above the other essential frontline workers identified in 1B. Again, you know, we are, we've actually received additional vaccinations just yesterday. So this is as of before yesterday. But of that, and these are requests. So 29,000 requests to date, 22,000 of those are age 65 and over, and 7,000 plus age 64 and under. Businesses, again, we're asking businesses to identify their essential workers. We are working with the employers, the businesses, not the individuals of essential workers. Individuals that put their name on the registry are putting their name on the registry as an individual, but when it's time to schedule essential workers, we will work with the employer and they will identify the essential workers within their business. We are not allowing individuals to come and self-declare that they are essential workers. Next. Again, this is just a reiteration of the population data and just highlighting the point that 22% of our residents do not have internet access. And so we do have to think of other strategies to reach our most vulnerable population. And it seems like through some of these technical electronic registries, we're still reaching a higher number of non-vulnerable residents. Next. This is just to show the vaccination chart over time. If you notice, starting December is when some of the first vaccinations started rolling in to the hospitals, and that began the phase 1A1 vaccination process. If you see towards the end of this chart, the dark bars are the second doses. And so we are now vaccinating both first and second doses simultaneously, but more first doses than second. This chart at the top shows vaccinations by age group. If you notice at the very beginning from December to mid-January, the age group was above there were more 25 to 44 and 45 to 64. And that was because those vaccines were targeted specifically for hospital workers, frontline medical workers, ambulatory workers. Then mid-January, so it hasn't even been a month. And we started targeting the higher age groups, and you can see age 65 plus. Through a partnership with the hospital, we are able to focus on age 65 plus. A lot of the peaks of the other age groups are those clinics when we vaccinate school staff. And so you'll see that peak up and then it'll go back down, and you'll see where when the peak is down for school staff, the peak is up for age 65 plus, because we're doing this simultaneously, but we're trying to dedicate at least 75% of our vaccine doses towards age 65 plus. It doesn't mean that somebody 66 is going to automatically be vaccinated, because we've started with age 85 plus. We're now focused on 75 plus, but there's still about 2,000 85 plus that need to be vaccinated. And we, if there is a spouse in the house or a care provider, we will also vaccinate at the same time, so that the household doesn't have to come out more than once. Well, they do for the second dose, but for the first dose. The bottom chart is what I am most proud of, Muskegon County, and our utilization of the vaccines. Received 21,650 doses to date and have vaccinated 20,647. And that's as of last week. That's 95%. The region, in comparison, received 220,000, vaccinated 180,000. That's 82%. And then the state of Michigan overall had 1.7 doses in their custody and vaccinated 1 million and 62%. So Muskegon County, we are getting these vaccines and we are administering them within the week of receipt. And we're still trying to prioritize, the most vulnerable population. And that concludes my report.
Kathy?
Does anyone have questions? Realistine?
Yes, I would just like to make a comment, Bob, because I was there on Friday at Mercy Health to get my second shot.
Mhm.
And those people were so organized and it moved like clockwork, and they were all very kind, and it really was great. I mean, it was organized perfectly. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're still, still fine tuning it, but really, really grateful to Mercy for allowing us to help schedule on their schedule so that we can still focus on the most vulnerable population. So we've had a Saturday clinic, special focus of 100 African Americans that Muskegon Heights helped us schedule, and NAACP. We've had a special focus on the Hispanic Latino population that the Latinos for the Future helped us schedule 2 Saturdays ago. So thank you.
You're doing a great job.
Kathy, could I just add to Realistein's comments? I was very impressed with how efficient the whole vaccine system was. The second time, it was less than an hour, including the 15-minute wait at the end. So I think our scheduling process is working excellent, very well. And yes, so good job.
Thank you. And kudos to Muskegon Rotary Club and a committee led by Marianne Gorman and Nancy McCarthy, who helped make phone calls to get people on the schedule. So we had a paper schedule and we made phone calls, and it was a lot of work, and we couldn't have done it, absolutely could not have done it without them.
That was the best volunteer job I ever had.
Hey, Kathy,
Yes.
if I had the power, I'd make you the Muskegon County COVID rock star.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'd accept that, but thank you.
I don't have the power anyway. So, anyway, thank you, Kathy. You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Okay, so we'll move on to committee and board reports. The first one is Courts and Public Safety, and Chairman Pego, you're up.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the Courts and Public Safety Committee met on February 2, 2021. It was recommended, and I move CPS 21/02-11 through 1/02-15.
Support.
Okay, we have, we have a motion that's been supported. Are there any questions on any of these 5 motions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I thought that we were going to have a work session and get the Courts and Public Safety people together, and I have a lot of questions on some of these proposals, and I don't see where that's happened yet. I'm just curious.
I think in the case of some of these, there's, hang on here just a minute.
Yeah, the public defender, we have several work sessions lined up, and I'll find out when we have the public defender's office coming forward here. I'll let you know before this meeting's over.
Okay, thank you.
March 2nd.
Okay, so we had a motion that's been supported, and there's a whole list of work sessions coming up. So this will be on that list. If there are no other questions, Clerk Waters, could you do a roll call, please?
Yes, and I'd like to ask them to say they're voting for all of them or telling me where they might be voting no. Vice Chair Nash,
Yes on all.
thank you very much. Commissioner Pagel,
Yes on all.
thank you. Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes on all.
thank you. Commissioner Brown,
Yes on all.
thank you. Commissioner Sear,
Yes on all.
thank you. Commissioner Hovey Wright
Yes on all.
and Commissioner Laring,
No on 11, 12, and 13. Yes on 14 and 15.
no on 11, 12, and 13, and yes on 14 and 15.
Correct.
Thank you. And Chairman Skolnick,
Yes on all.
thank you. That's 7 yes, it's 7 yes, 1 no on 11, 7 yes, 1 no on 12, 7 yes, 1 no on 13, and 8 yes on 14 and 15.
Okay. Chairman Pego, is that you're all set?
Yes, and that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Pego. The next item is the report of the Ways and Means Committee, and the chair of that committee is Commissioner Sear.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Ways and Means Committee met on February 2nd, 2021, and it was recommended, and I move on item WM 21/02-10 to approve payments.
Okay, we have a motion that's been supported. Are there any questions on that item? If not, Marcia, did you have something, or are you just making some noises?
Made a noise, sorry.
Okay.
Moving my laptop.
Clerk Waters, if you could take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Pagel,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman Sear. All right, the next item is my report, and if there are any committee liaison reports, I'll do mine first. I would like to have a recognition for both the Mona Shores High School and Montague High School varsity football teams for their state victories. And those in the past, we would normally have the coach and as many of the team members that could come into the boardroom and we'd present it. Probably in this case, in my case, in Norton Shores and Mona Shores, I'll have to talk to the school to see if I'll have an opportunity to do that in person. But it's just a nice thing to do for the schools.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Is there support?
Yes.
Support.
Okay.
Support.
We have a motion. It's been supported. Are there any, we've done this every year I've been here, if some team wins some major title. If there are no questions, Clerk Waters, could you please take a roll call for that too?
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
yes,
Chairman Skolnick.
Yes.
And that was just for the Mona Shores. You still have the Montague High
No,
School.
oh, I thought we did. No, it was
both.
both. It was both, Nancy.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure because you talked about Mona Shores, but didn't mention much about Montague.
No, I was just saying about, that
Come
was
on,
my
Bob.
thoughts on presenting it.
All
Unless
right,
maybe
you very much
Commissioner
for
Sear would like me to go up there and do it for him.
thank you for clarifying.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up is the administrator's report. Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two items for consideration and a third one for discussion. The first item for consideration is to move to approve the prosecutor to apply for and accept the FY 2021 Stop Violence Against Women grant one-time funding enhancement.
I would support that.
Support.
And there were some questions. I know Commissioner, this had been explained to me, but Commissioner Pago was concerned because it didn't go through her committee, Courts and Public Safety. And I don't know is the prosecutor on this call? DJ, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you want to just explain what happened here?
Oh, sure. So we're currently funding a position right now under this grant, and we were notified on the 29th of January that they had some unallocated funds that they were making available, and it was going to be a quick turnaround. Because of the furlough situation, we became aware of this on the 1st of February. In our turnaround time, we have to have this in by the 15th of February. So obviously we didn't make the motion date for the Courts and Public Safety, which was February 2nd. So we moved very quickly to get this in front of the full board so that in hopes that you would approve it so that we could make our deadline of Monday. Ultimately, this is an opportunity that the two grants, and I'll speak about both of them, two grants. One is funding. This will allow us to upgrade equipment in the office. The second grant actually will provide enough money for a full-time position for 2 years when we can reapply for the next RFP. And as we're telling our grant funders, there's an absolute need for this additional position handling these matters. And these are cases involving particularly intimate partner violence, domestic violence, some criminal sexual conduct cases. And as we found in the short time that we've had this, our numbers do suggest the need for an additional prosecutor. The other agencies, the two police agencies, Norton Shores and the city of Muskegon, have also applied to add an additional investigator. So if all goes well, we're going to have a team that it consists of 2 prosecutors and either 3 or 4 investigators.
Okay, thank you, DJ. Are there any other? We're working on the first item here, and then we'll move on to the second one. But are there any other questions about that? And I want to thank Commissioner Pago for bringing that that normally would go to her committee or whatever committee that if a motion comes up, there needs to be a reason why it doesn't go to the committee. And in this case, you're asking for approval just to apply for the grant.
Time sensitive.
Right. So,
Well, apply and then accept if we do receive the funds.
right. But I mean, it was such short notice.
Yeah.
So, okay, if there's no other questions, Clerk Waters, could you do that?
I have a question if I may,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go
So
ahead.
I think though, to fit into this session or to move this motion in this session, I think you have to declare it an emergency funding issue.
Okay, that's what it says in the rules. I will declare this an emergency I don't have the memo in front of me, but that's one of the provisions for putting this on this agenda.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, can I jump in?
Yes, go ahead.
So the rule actually provides two avenues for which to bring this forward. The first is that the motion is deemed an emergency and requires a vote of at least 2/3 of the commissioners elected and serving. The second excludes staff recommended matters, and at least in both of these cases, as I understand it, the county administrator has brought it forward under his report with his recommendation.
Correct. I don't have that memo, and I read it earlier today. I don't have it in front of me. But when I read that, it was clear that this was one of those exceptions, or both of these were one of those exceptions. So we have a motion. It's been supported. Nancy, you want to do the roll call on 12A, please?
Thank you. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
8 yes.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. The second one is to approve the prosecutor to apply for and accept the 2021 Stop Violence Against Women Grant Ongoing Funding Enhancement.
So moved.
Second, Hovey Wright.
Okay, we have a motion that's been supported. The same rules that made the item A legal would apply to this one also. Are there any questions about this? I think prosecutor explained it very well.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I missed
Yes.
something. Ongoing funding enhancement, I must have missed that. I'm not understanding what that is exactly.
DJ?
So Commissioner Sear, what we currently have a position funded under this grant, and as I indicated, the grantors let us know that they have funds.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's
Yep.
good, DJ. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no, that's okay. And so this one actually is a 2-year commitment that gives us the ability to have this person on board for 2 years before we reapply to be reimbursed the grant for another 2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, DJ. Kim, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right, Clerk Waters, roll call.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes,
8 yes.
thank you, Clerk Waters.
Thank you. The next item here is the 2021 Strategic Planning Workshop. I sent out the 2017 to 2022. So that means the next one here expires at the end of this year. So it's time for us to update our plan. And we sent out some dates for you to consider. There was 3 different options: March 3rd, March 11th, and March 12th. So we need to know if you're available on those dates, and you can send that back to Kathy Hart. In addition, James Kelly brought to our attention that MSU Extension can and offer to facilitate the first strategic work session at no cost to the county. We have used MSU in the past. they've done a great job. It would be a different person this year that they have available for us, Lindsay Gardner. So what I would like to do is really information, just get back with us if any of those dates would work. We really need everybody there, and it's going to be a 2-hour session. And MSU is doing Zooms through May, so this will be a Zoom work session.
What dates were those again, Mark?
That is March 3rd, March 11th, or March 12th. And the time's the same in all three, from 8:30 to 10:30.
8:30 to 10:30 was the time. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, Mark, I'm sorry. It was the 3rd, the 11th, and what was the other date? The 20th, did you say?
The 12th.
12th, okay.
Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Friday.
Okay. So we just need to get that information back, and then you'll figure out what's best for most people.
Yes.
Okay.
There's 2 more things that aren't on here, but the questions came up. Commissioner Sear, March 2nd is a public defender's work session.
Okay, thank you.
And then just a reminder, Thursday, we have a 3 p.m. workshop. We have a 3:30 public hearing. And at 4 p.m., we have our Community Development and Transportation Committee meetings. Thank you. That ends my report.
Okay, thank you, Mark. All right, moving on. Unfinished business. I don't think there is any, unless somebody's got something. Yes, Marcia, are you raising your hand or no?
Nope.
No, okay. Then we have, next is new business. Is there any new business to come before the full board?
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, you may.
I'd like to, it's been brought to my attention that through the senior services again, and Christopher Cross addressed this early in the meeting, that there's been additional seniors that have been added to the list with needs, and we've had quite a bit of snow recently, so they've been working pretty hard out there, and they're a little concerned that it looks like they may need some more funding, possibly. Of course, it depends on the weather, but they would like to have an opportunity to for some additional funding just to make sure that we can keep these seniors cleaned out so that they can get to their doctor's appointments and get their food delivered and all the things that need to happen for them. So maybe Kathy Moore may have something else on this, Mr. Chair.
I don't, Kathy, are you still here?
Yes, I am still here. I don't know that I have much more than what was said. I do have, just recently, I do have the dollar numbers, if that's relevant. So whenever you're ready for that, I do have that.
Well, if I could just add something here. Commissioner Sear and I spoke about this a couple of times today. The problem is normally I would recommend that this, we just go through the regular process. The problem is that while they may not need the money today, if it snows, they need to be assured they're going to get paid to do the work because they're using subcontractors. So really they get paid based on what they do, they don't get the money if they don't do the work. Is that, Kathy, that's correct, isn't it?
Yes, that is correct.
So they're wanting assurance that the money will be there if we get another, kind of a big snow like we had over the last week. So
can I, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I'm on the Senior Activities Committee, and we've discussed Living Word numerous times. They've made several requests for more funding. And they were fully funded except for revising the amount per plow from 50 to 37.50, I believe. It funded 20 plows per year, and we haven't had anything close to that. So I guess I'd like to see some financial figures before we go ahead with this. It seems like an end run to me. Our committee is meeting next Thursday. That's not that far away. And the people that are already on the list are fully funded for 20 plows. So I don't see the problem there. Now, maybe there are people that, new people that need to qualify, but I think we can wait till, we need to find out, we can't just allocate money that we don't know if it's there, because our last meeting of senior activities committee, I believe we allocated all the money that was there. So, I don't think they should be able to just come in and, make us vote when we don't have the information at the county commission.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, well, wait a minute. Who, Charles, was that you?
Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I was just wanted to ask a question because I wanted some clarity. When I was listening to Mr. Cross, it sounded like he was saying that there was some stipulations on how people qualify or what they can use the money towards. And I'm hearing now that they want more funding. So I'm confused on whether this was a request to make some changes in who they can support, or was this a request for more funding? I didn't understand.
I'd like to, Mr. Cross has his hand raised. I don't know if it's appropriate for him to say anything at this point.
I would like to table this and refer to the senior activities committee, who has all the information. We do not.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to have a comment if I may.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
So I'd like to make a motion that we, for the snow plowing removal, that we extend $8,085 to serve an additional 30 seniors for snow plowing.
Excuse me, a move to table supersedes the motion.
Marcia, there wasn't a second for it.
Second to Zach's.
Second, well, wait a minute. Wait. Marcia made a motion first to table, but there was no support for it.
But Zach barged right in.
I know.
Didn't allow any time for a table.
I addressed the chair. He acknowledged my question.
I did acknowledge you, Zach, but she made a motion to table without allowing sufficient time for anybody to even respond to it.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, and I thought we were trying to get Mr. Cross in to respond to this because
Right.
I'm still confused on what we're doing.
All right, let's do this. I'd like to make a motion to I forget what the term
Sorry,
for it is.
Mr.
Suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules.
Sorry.
Okay, Mike, I'd like to make a motion. We haven't done that in a long
Wait,
time.
just stop for a second.
Okay,
So there was Commissioner Hovey Wright made a motion without being recognized by the chair on the floor. The chair then recognized Commissioner Laring, who made a motion that was properly supported by Commissioner Pego. So you have a motion with support pending on the floor that you are free to discuss.
okay, well, okay, so Commissioner Laring, your motion was to do what? Say it again.
To expend $8,085 emergency funds to make available for snow plowing to 30 additional seniors.
Okay, and that was supported by who?
Commissioner Pagel.
Commissioner Pego.
Okay, well, I have one question. How did you come up with $8,085?
There was an email distributed to all of the commissioners this afternoon from Kathy Tharp.
I did not see that. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
All right, so this is a motion that likely does fall within the rule for motions under section 1 of Rule 6, which says, except in the case of a motion that is deemed an emergency matter by a vote of at least 2/3 of the commissioners elected and serving, no commissioner may make any motion, and the board will not consider action on any motion on any substantive county matter or issue. So the expenditure of money seems to me to be a substantive matter for the county. And so in order to take this matter up rather than refer it to committee, it seems to me that it would have to be declared an emergency by a vote of 2/3 majority of the board.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I call the question, please?
Go ahead, Melinda.
Call the question, so we vote.
Well, it's not that easy. we're going to have to declare, we're going to have to vote to declare this an emergency. That motion
So moved.
is out of order at this point. Mike, we need to have a vote then on whether this is an emergency, and it requires a 2/3 majority. Is that correct?
That is
Mr.
correct.
Chair,
And can we
will that
discussion on this?
request be directed to one area? Because I still know seniors that are out there wanting service for the snow plowing.
Oh.
Or is
Well-
this confined to just one area?
Okay. Oh, I see. She put the motion up. I did not see that. I don't know when that was sent out. I didn't see it.
There is, Mr. Chair, there is an exception or an exception. The rule also says that the chairperson can decide whether a matter is substantive for purpose of this section. So you have the decision-making authority to determine whether it is a substantive county matter or not a substantive county matter.
Well, I do not think this is a substantive matter because it's not general fund money. It's from the Senior Activities Committee.
Right.
And it's a relatively, it's not a small amount of money, but it's not a substantial amount of money either. So I'd say that it falls under that.
Okay,
So I think we could vote on it.
Yeah, so if it is not a substantive matter, then you are free to vote without declaring it an emergency.
Okay.
So you would be voting on Commissioner Laring's motion supported by Commissioner Pago.
Okay, so the motion is to add $8,085 to the amount of money that was already allocated. They may or may not spend it. We do not know. It depends on how much snow there is, but it gives them the ability to, I don't see how they're going to spend it either. But
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
they're only paid after they
I understand. I know, I
perform
said
the
that.
service.
That is
Yeah.
correct. That's correct. Okay. So,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
um,
Marcia.
I had, when I got this, I requested that the Living Word Church provide documentation that they don't have any more money. We've fully funded their request, except for to make the rate per time more in line with everybody else. And so I don't see why this should be done at this level first. It should be referred to the Senior Resources Committee, which meets next week. I mean, it's next Tuesday, a week from now. So I don't see the point of undermining the Senior Activities Committee. We don't even know if there's money there.
Mr. Chair, I have a comment to.
Yes, Mr. Laring.
So that's true. The Senior Resource Committee may meet, but then they'll have to bring it back to Ways and Means and then back to full board. We're talking probably 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll be into possibly March before this comes back before the full board. That's why it's urgent.
Okay, so Marcia, Commissioner Hovey-Wright just had a comment. I mean, it was just her concern. Is there anybody else that has a concern? There's a motion that's been supported to authorize spending up to another $8,085. They may, I would say it's likely they won't spend it, but it's there if there's a blizzard. So, okay, roll
Mr.
call,
Chair,
please.
since you have,
Commissioner,
Yes, I'm sorry, Charles, go ahead.
since you have Mr. Cross with his hand up, I was just wondering if we can get clarity on what he was specifically meaning by folks that couldn't be supported and couldn't be
All
supported.
right, I need a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll make the motion to suspend the rules. It's been supported. Nancy, I hope you got a lot of pads of paper for keeping track of this. Roll call, please.
the motion before you is to suspend the rules to let someone talk or to take this item up?
No.
Because it's already been moved and seconded for a roll call vote on the Commissioner Laring's motion for the
Well,
8,000.
there was a question about exactly what they were going to need the money for. And Mr. Cross has his hand up, but it's probably too late for that now.
So Commissioner Laring,
Sorry, I'm going to jump in again.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I would like to know what rule the board is suspending, because I don't believe that there is a rule that precludes you from getting more or additional information if you so choose to ask for it.
Mike, it had been traditional to suspend the rules. I do not know if there, even if there ever was a rule. Since I've been on this board, although we haven't done it recently, that was done routinely. But if there is no such provision that you have to suspend the rules, then that won't happen again.
Sorry, I just don't know of any rule that would preclude you from getting additional information. However, it is at your discretion on whether or not you want to hear from people again on the issue.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Right.
Mr. Cross, you could speak now if you'd like. You're muted.
Did you call
thank you
my
very
name?
much.
No, there he is. Go ahead, Chris.
I really appreciate allowing me I apologize for any miscommunication at all. We were given full funding that we asked for. We did reduce our rate from $40 down to $38.50, and we were given full funding. With that funding, that covers 100 seniors for 20 pushes. To make sure that we are responsible with the funding that you've entrusted us with, we cannot serve 101 seniors, because then we wouldn't be able to do the 20 pushes in the year for those 20 that you budgeted for. So we're following the budget that you gave us. What we're finding now is why we have over 30 seniors on the waiting list. We cannot serve. Yes, there's funding left, but that's allocated towards those 100 seniors that were first added to the list. So those are for the 20 pushes. We don't want to spend that money knowing that those first 100 seniors, they're guaranteed those 20 pushes based on the funding. The $8,085 would cover additional 30 seniors for the remainder of the winter. That's based on the number we got that from was we have 7 pushes left for those first 100 seniors. So we duplicated that 7 pushes for the 30 we're asking for. So we're not asking for 20 pushes for 30 seniors. We're only asking for 7 pushes worth for those 30. I hope that clears up.
It does, Chris. That's very helpful. That makes perfect sense. All right, we have a motion. It's been supported to authorize the additional $8,085, and let's have a roll call. Clerk Waters.
Commissioner Hovey-Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pagel,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
8 yes.
Well, thank you. Is there
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Nash.
Just for clarity, Kathy was here to speak on that funding. Can she confirm that we do have that additional funding?
Thank you.
Yes, I can confirm that definitely 8,000 is available. The concern would be that every month, Senior Activities Committee also receive requests. And it's a moving target. That's all I can say. But 8,000 definitely is available.
Right. And I'm hoping that, I know Living Word has been having this issue and this battle for the last couple of years, but I'm hoping that they'll look at their numbers that they had from the year before and their numbers that they have now and properly request enough money so we don't have to go through this kind of thing at the board.
Thank you.
May I speak to that also, Mr. Chair?
Yes, you may. Go ahead, Melinda.
Okay, thank you. Yes, this is something that I'm glad this program, I remember when it came out last year or 2 ago, it was a pilot and we're continuing it. But up in my area, up in other areas of the county, they're not being serviced. So while I'm thankful it's going to reach the 130 that they are. I do believe we need to expand this program out to the rural areas because those folks have.
We've lost you, Melinda. I can't hear you.
I was just saying, I hope that thankful for the 130 people getting service, but I know that it's too far out. It's a county funded program. I believe it needs to reach more people in the county and rural areas. I hope that next year we can expand our geographical location of the service, because there's other seniors that are eligible that would also like to have the service.
Okay.
Did that come through that time?
Yes, we could hear you. Thank you, Melinda. All right. If there's no other new business, yes.
Sorry, Mike Homer. I just wanted to clarify your county board rules, Rule 6, Section 4, does not require a suspension of the rules when requesting staff to provide further information or for requesting additional information from a recognized authority in the audience if requested to by the board chairperson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Corporate Counsel. You know, I'd like to just say I never saw the rule, but I'll bet that happened 100 times in the times I've been on the board. Nobody ever questioned it, but it's just another thing we don't have to do. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep us honest. I like that. All right, the next item is public comment from anyone. So there's still 43 people there. Mr. Cross, did you raise your hand again or you didn't put it down?
You just raise it again.
Okay.
Sorry, very brief here real quick. I just wanted to answer Commissioner Pago's concern. I do appreciate that concern. We do service the entire county. If you have any constituents that you know need the service coming up, especially with the lawn service coming this spring and everything, we'd love to hear from it. We do serve all the way from Montague to Urbana to Fruitport to by the lakeside. We service the entire county, even if it costs us extra gas because they're more spread out, for example.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see, I just looked, Charles, do you see anybody else with their hand raised? I don't see anybody. Or Mark?
At this time.
Okay.
He was the only one.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Realistine.
There will be new passes to be sold at the beach because of the new parking that they're going to be charging for. Yes. And where will those tickets be sold? I heard that they would be sold at the city of Muskegon. Are they going to be in the Heights and the other municipalities too? Because, you know, if you first come, first serve, and you get them all, then the latecomers will not be able to park.
I can follow up with that and find out for you.
I would appreciate it.
Okay.
I can share a little bit on that. Those tickets are, I don't believe they sell out. You just need a parking pass to park at the beach. So you have to have a pass so you don't get a ticket or anything of that sort. Those can be purchased from the city of Muskegon. I don't know if they're going around to other municipalities, but I do know that you can get them from the city of Muskegon. Now, if you live in the city of Muskegon, you're allowed to get 2 passes because you live in the city of Muskegon. So there's a link on the website that you can go to order your 2 passes that you get for, you know, being a resident of Muskegon. But other than that, you just have to purchase them, and I forget the actual purchase price, but anyone can purchase them coming in from out of town or wherever, but you just need that to park out there.
You know, Charles, I think she may have been talking about the season passes, which are only available from the city. The other one, if you just want a day pass, you can buy it from one of the kiosks on the beach.
Right,
but,
that's what I was speaking of with the season. The kiosk, yes, is for the day.
But Mark, could you check on that and report back to us?
Yes.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
Thank you, Realistine. All right, final board comments. Anybody have any?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yep. This is Commissioner Pego. I just want to thank Public Director Kathy Moore for responding so expediently with some of my questions. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion.
Chair, one last comment.
Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
The groundhog did see a shadow from what I understand, and that means 6 more weeks of winter, so we're probably going to have some more snow. I'm just saying.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank everyone for the hour-long board meeting. I appreciate it. All right, I need a,
Yeah, Bob.
I'd like to,
I need a motion to adjourn. Well, Marcia,
So
this is the
moved.
last chance. Go ahead.
yeah, just.
Motion to adjourn.
No, wait, let Marcia finish here. Just a second. Go ahead.
Just wanted to say that your post, Chair Skolnick, about the park, it was very well written and very just a great post. And I appreciate it was a lot of good knowledge, good information, and apparently got a lot of good comments as well. So.
It did. There'll be a
Thank
public
you for
hearing.
educating the public.
There'll be a public hearing. If you look at your agendas on Thursday on phase 2 of the Nugent Sand 377 acre park. And I let people, I know it's been out there. I just put a post up about the public, what is it called? Mark, what are we having? It's a
We have a public hearing.
Public
on
hearing,
3:30.
yeah. Public hearing on Thursday. So, all right, I need a motion. Did somebody make a motion to adjourn?
Commissioner Pagel made
I
a motion.
did.
Has
Okay,
it been seconded?
Support.
it's supported. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. See you Thursday.